hear the word atoms, particles and all. But a question arises, what is atom? From where it came? Who has stated for atoms? This is all we are going to see for this set. So, today we are going to see history of atoms. So basically, many Greek and Indian philosophers who stated, postulated about atoms. In that, very first who came is Maharishi Kanan. So Maharishi Kanan said that atoms, he said that the matters are made up of particles and particles are such that they are divisible. We can divide particles as much as we can, and a state comes where the division of particles is not possible, and that particle is nothing but he said as Paramaణu. That Maharishi Kanan said that matters are made up of particles and that particles are divisible, that can be divided into smaller units, and a state comes when the division of particle is not possible, and that particle is nothing but known as Paramaణu. That is what Maharishi Kanan postulated. So students, we saw about Maharishi Kanan who stated about Paramaణu. After that the philosopher came was Papuda Katla. He said that matters are the combination of particles. That means by the combination of many particles and matters are being made. This is what Papuda Katla stated. After that, a Greek philosopher came. His name was Democritus and Euclides. He said that particles can be divided, that is, particles are divisible, and that divisible particles are nothing but known as atoms. That is, he stated that atoms are divisible, that are the smallest unit of particles, and that particles combine and form as matter. This is what Democritus and Euclides stated. See, this is all the statement, postulates, assumption made by all of these philosophers, but we will see this by a small activity. So, let us consider this chalk. Now this is a chalk, so let us consider this chalk as a matter, right? If now I am taking this chalk as much, now I can divide this chalk in as much pieces. Probably I have done 5 pieces, but I can break into as much pieces, and this is one piece. If again I break this chalk, you will be able to see the white powder. So we can consider this small, I am just rubbing this. If I rub this, you will be able to see some powder is falling down. This powder is nothing but small particles which are divisible, and by their combination we can make a chalk, that we can make a metal. According to which the state when the division is not possible, that particle is known as Paramaణu by Maharishi Kanan, and according to Democritus he stated that are nothing but known as atom. So we can say the smallest particle of chalk makes a matter, that is matter of chalk. Similarly, if we see about this duster, even this duster is made up of what? Color. This duster is made up of wood. So the small pieces of wood, or means the small particles of this wood, so this small sawdust powder of wood, when they are combined, they form a duster. So basically this duster is a metal, and this particle of that sawdust is nothing but a particle. Clear? So by this we can conclude that atoms are made up of smallest particle, and when they combine they form a matter, and these atoms are divisible. That means they can be divided into smaller pieces. But a stage comes when the division is not possible. That stage is nothing but known as atoms. So students, till now we have seen about atoms, the postulates, the statements, the assumption made by the philosophers. But these all are assumptions. These all are not assumed on basis of experiment. So we can say these are not reliable sources, because without an experiment we cannot come to a conclusion. Similarly, this was being continued till the 18th century. But at the end of 18th century, a scientist came named Antony L. Levison. These scientists came and he found that all these postulates are just a statement without any experiment. So what he did? He conducted an activity, and from that activity we found two conservation of law. That is, two chemical conservation of law, and two chemical combination of law is being stated by Antony Levison, which by this scientist it was naturally able to found the difference between element, compound and matter. So question arises, what are the law of chemical of combination? What activity did Antony conducted? So for that we will see the very first law of chemical of combination. Before going on the law, we will conduct a small activity. So now for that, just you can see in the textbook, activity number 3.1. In this you will be able to see, first we will see what are the apparatus needed for this experiment. We need a conical flask. You can see there is a conical flask, there is a cork, and along with we need a thread. So these are the, and one more thing, we need a ignition tube. These are the apparatus which we need for experiment. Now you can see there are two things over here. One is X solution and one is Y solution. So in the textbook they have stated A and B, that is X and B, where there are three different chemicals in X and three different chemicals in Y. But for this video, I will explain you with an example. Let us consider X as barium chloride and Y as sodium sulfate. So we have barium chloride as X and sodium sulfate as Y. So what we need to do in this experiment? We need to take a conical flask in which there is a rubber cork. Why we need a rubber cork? So that whatever chemical we are just pouring in this flask doesn't get out of this flask. So for that we are covering our conical flask with this rubber cork. And in this, you will be able to see this. This is nothing but Y solution, that is Na2SO4. Now, as we said, there is an ignition tube. In this ignition tube, we will fill X solution, that is BaCl2. And both the solution X as well as Y are made up of 5% solution. Right? So next, there is ignition tube, there is 5% solution of BaCl2, and this conical flask, there is 5% solution of Na2SO4. And I have tied this ignition tube with this cork such a way that the solution of X and solution of Y doesn't merge together. It remains separate. This is how I am arranging my ignition tube in this conical flask, which is filled up with the solution of BaCl2 and Na2SO4. So this is all about the arrangement of the experiment. Now what we are going to do? We are going to do first, the very first thing is we are going to weigh this conical flask. So let us consider we are getting any A weight. By some A amount of weight of this conical flask. In very next step, what I am going to do? I am going to shrill this conical flask. Again, shrill means I am going to move this conical flask in such a way that my solution in ignition tube and the solution of Na2SO4, that is sodium sulfate, get mixed together very properly. This is what I am shrilling my conical flask. Now after shrilling my conical flask, I am going to measure this conical flask again. So let us consider I am going to get some B weight. Right? So we are going to get two weight. One, the flask when both the solution are apart from each other, they are not mixed up with each other. And second way, when both the solutions are been mixed up and I am measuring this conical flask. But before going to the conclusion, a question arises. BaCl2 and Na2SO4, both are chemicals. Means when I am shrilling it, there is 100% chances that some of the chemical reaction is going to place. So what will happen when barium chloride and sodium sulfate get merged with each other? Let's see. I am writing the equation over here. That is BaCl2, barium chloride plus Na2SO4, that is sodium sulfate. Now when barium chloride and sodium sulfate merge with each other, then the exchange of ion takes place. What happens? That this ion goes over here and this ion comes over here. Let's see how that BaSO4 plus 2NaC. See, we are going to get BaSO4 and we are going to get NaCl, means barium sulfate, and we are going to get sodium sulfate. This is what we are going to get by the chemical recombination of barium chloride and sodium sulfate. Now, this BaSO4 is nothing but white PPTs, that is white solid precipitation. So the product of BaCl2 is barium chloride and sodium sulfate is nothing but white precipitates of barium sulfate and 2 mole of NaCl, that is sodium chloride. This is what we are going to get by the combination of these two chemicals. But now going back to our activity. So as I said before that we have rated X. We have rated this conical flask A weight. After just shrilling it, we have measured the weight, which is B weight. So what do you think? Will there be change in the weight? Will the weight increase or reduce? Thus, there will be some other reaction will take place. The answer for all these questions are that the A weight and the B weight both are same, because remember I just told you I am taking 5% solution of BaCl2 as well as 5% solution of Na2SO4. That means by this Antony was able to conclude the law of conservation of mass. So how can we conclude the law of conservation of mass? By this activity. So we can conclude that the mass cannot be destroyed nor be created in any chemical reaction. I am repeating, the law of conservation of mass states that the mass can neither be created nor be destroyed in any chemical reaction. So this is a chemical reaction where X is a barium chloride, Y is sodium sulfate, and this combination we are getting exchange of ion and we are getting white precipitates of barium chloride and barium sulfate and sodium chloride. So this is a chemical reaction, and in this chemical reaction nor the weight is being increased, nor weight is being decreased, nor the weight is being destroyed. That means the mass of both the solution is the same. Before, if we talk about A, that is just weighted separately, or B, when we are dating both of them after splitting. So this is what the experiment state of Anthony Davis. So students, in this video we have seen today the history of atoms. We saw different Greek, ancient Indian philosophers who have postulated, who have stated about what are atoms. In that we saw about first Maharshi Manan, who stated about Parmanu. Then we saw about Pakuda Katayama. He stated that the metals are the combination of particles, and after the Democritus stated that those particles which are further indivisible, that are nothing but known as atoms. This is what the statement, and after that comes the Anthony Lavoisier, the scientist, who at the end of 18th century stated this experiment, and by this experiment we were able to conclude the law of chemical combination, in which the very first law is law of conservation of mass, which states that the mass can neither be created nor be destroyed in a chemical reaction. So students, this is all for this video. See you in the next video.